Hi guys, what's up? So today is 8 days since last video, so day 104. So this marks week 15. I know I said do one a week, and I kind of missed last week with just things getting busy after I got back from Iowa back to Texas, where I live north of Dallas, and I'm actually going back for some military stuff this Wednesday. So I want to get it in before a whole week goes, and I miss it. So. I know last time didn't really give a scar update. It's kind of the same, but you can sort of see like there's a big. It almost looks like I have like a knife wound or something. That thing's still there, and then the trailing kind of scar going into my underarm. So, I'm sorry, I'm sure you don't want to see my armpit hair, but like that's what it looks like. I know it's grainy quality. Eventually, one of these days, I'll probably get an actual laptop or like I have no idea of audiovisual stuff, but like a real camera maybe that I don't know how YouTubers and stuff set it all up, but that's the scar. Um, sorry, I just have some. I was rotting away on YouTube and then Instagram because my whole barbering thing. Like now, I can of course use my arm. Have been able to for a couple months. So I'm getting into that, and so I was watching videos and found some random Instagrammer that listens. But anyway, in terms of PT and just recovery in general, so if you guys remember in one of the previous videos, my PT said the 3 month goal is about here, getting to 90 degrees, full range of motion. Now, I'm not quite there. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm kind of here, and I want to be here. So I'm not all the way kind of back here, where like, if you imagine throwing a ball, it's like your arm obviously retracts back. Now I'm a little forward. It's basically, to give an idea, it's pretty tight here and then right here. So there's no pain. Like, look, I'll try. There's no pain, but I'm just stuck. And I can go up here, but it's just kind of tight. You can probably sort of see I'm straining a bit, but that's my range of motion. Um, that's the range of motion. I have been doing quite a lot more at PT, and I technically have only been bumped down to once a week, but I'm supposed to be doing it at home, which I can't say I've been perfect doing every single day. But like I said in the last video, um, this is kind of my one last attempt at trying to get into fitness and actually lift weights without, you know, having another consecutive year of this getting worse and worse like it had been for the past 7. So I'm not necessarily doing physical therapy every day, but I am trying to do some sort of movement, some sort of workout with weights. And like I said in the other video, I'll try to probably make another series of like, I'm obviously no fitness influencer, but just kind of at least gives a niche for like training and I mean I guess diet, but mainly more so training and showing the people who have like really bad shoulder conditions, like give the kind of light at the end of the tunnel that if mine works, which we still don't know yet, but I could document it now so that if it does, and if I do somehow end up being somewhat in shape, that there's possibility for you if you're out there, just feeling like pretty crap, pretty hopeless that it's never gonna get better. Because I mean, I get how that is and how that feels, and it very much can be a possibility, and it seems like nothing will ever change, but like you never know until you try, and that's the really crappy double-sided, or like double-edged sword of like you don't want to try because you get your hopes up and then get let down, but then if you don't do it, then you'll never know if it will actually get better. So of course in my example, it's getting this another surgery with the risk of course surgery could make things worse rather than better, but um, you have to take the risk, you know without really knowing what the outcome is. And I've already taken the risk. Things seem to be going okay. Of course, I'm not back to where I was before yet, but it's only been a little over 3 months. So, past the 100-day mark, I'm curious to see where I'll be at 200, 300, And of course, like I've said, the whole thing's kind of a year, but my surgeon did say with me having a repeat surgery that things could, still improve up to 18 months because not because getting a surgery makes the next one better. It's that you're more prone to, of course, injury after you've having one, but you're even more prone after having one and then a failed surgery. So my progress might be a little stunted right now, but yeah, and I told my physical therapist, but like, is that a concern? But to their response is more so like it's not really a routine surgery, so it's not super surprising that I'm not like fully on track, and there's not necessarily a track. Everyone's different and all that crap, but I don't say that to be demeaning to them or anything. Obviously, it's just kind of annoying because that's not the answer you want to get. But they're technically right. I mean, they are right, right? So that's the update on that. In terms of PT, to give you guys who are wherever you are in the process, beginning, haven't started going through it just like I am right now. Um, I don't do the heat anymore. I don't do the towel slides and all that stuff too much. Kind of advanced from that. I just go straight to the arm bike, do some pulleys, do some shoulder extensions, go to the wall with the ball, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20 repetitions, do that couple sets, take a band. And so I'll be against the wall here and then kind of raise it and then like retract. So you're retracting the scapula to get those scapular muscles because all that stuff in the back, I mean, you'd be surprised how much of that stuff really stabilizes everything, in your shoulder because you think of your shoulder sort of in the front. But all that back muscles, I mean, that's why I have all this back pain and I have this ripple right here. At least that's what I think is, constant overcompensation. But yeah, do that. Now, a lot of band work. So rows, extensions like this way. Okay. Internal rotation, external rotation. So, and, put the towel here. Same thing the other way. I just started kind of getting into this motion. And then slowly working into more, I guess, athletic movements because I really want to get, back to working out as soon as possible, even though it's obviously discouraging because you are very pathetic in what you can do. But, the quicker I do, because those little things you wouldn't think, but the things in the gym, they do help because technically PT is just a very light workout that's in a specific area, strengthening very specific muscles, right? Um, and working out is essentially physical therapy, but on steroids. So you're doing, muscle growth, muscle strengthening exercises, but you're doing it like for larger muscle groups and like your entire body, and you're really trying to build muscle, right? But physical therapy essentially is strengthening and building muscle, and getting back movement, which is kind of the same thing, just on a more focused and less intense scale. It's a lot about reps and rehab, but working out is basically rehab, but way more, right? So those things do help. And so when your surgeon says you can do stuff, do try to do them. That's what I'm trying to do. And I know it's hard. I know it sucks. I know it's so boring to be lifting 5-pound weights, even though it's so stupid. But you shouldn't think of it as, is this going to help me? Just think of it as like, is there any way this could really harm me? Like, of course, if you do proper form and not doing anything crazy. Um, you know, but I will probably make a different video series regarding specifically the fitness stuff. Don't want to get into it too much here because I know this is more about surgery recovery. And those of you who don't really care for working out, it's like that's not why you're here. You're more just here to see my journey, see what things look like from the beginning. If you've seen, my week 1 video or week 2, and then 6 weeks out, 9 weeks, and now we're like 15. So, of course, I've come a long way, but still got a long, long way to go. I mean, I've been very limited my entire life up until this point. Not my entire life, but my entire life since this happened, which kind of feels like my entire life now since it's been like 7, 8 years. But, it's 2025, new year. So, happy new year to, to any of you watching around this time. Hope everyone had a good Christmas or whatever holidays that you're celebrating at this time. And yeah, I mean, I know they're getting a little kind of like there's not a lot to really say in terms of the scar and all that stuff because like it's all about the same, right? And my range of motion, it's coming back, and once it's full, I mean, I can't really show you my progress unless it's weight or lifting weights or like climbing and stuff like that, which I don't anticipate doing for a while, but also I don't really have a pull-up bar or anything. But for now, you know, I'm about here, not quite at the full range of motion as they said the goal is. So if you are around at the stage where I'm at, or you are like wondering, what does this look like 3 months out? Typically, you'll be at full range of motion. Now, don't let it discourage you that I'm not there. That doesn't mean you won't be. I've of course had a surgery before that didn't work, and also I had 7 year. Well, what is it? So like seven, yeah, like 6 years of like subluxations before having the surgery. So, I mean, is it really surprising, right, that my recovery is not super straightforward? Not really. But I will probably make another video on like specifically the fitness stuff, like kind of showing exactly what I'm doing and exactly what I'm doing for diet, just to give those of you who are, even earlier in the journey than I am. Because, of course, I'm basically starting over. I'm basically, yes, I'm 24, but I'm basically 14, in terms of fitness. Like, any little muscle I've gained was pretty much all gone. Any little strength, pretty much all gone. Like, it is pretty humbling, but, I can't even lift. Like, of course, I'm still recovering, but, I could take a 5 pound dumbbell and obviously, let's just pretend this is 5 pounds, like easily just do this. But I was doing it today in the gym with my friend. I'm like, I can't even get here with 5 pounds. And some of you think you're not strong because you can't, bench 130 like a plate or something. I mean, I probably couldn't even lift the bar anymore right now. I mean, I could lift the bar, but press it for reps. It's back to when I was 14. All the kids would be, remember, for basketball or just for gym in general, like guys would be lifting, easily repping out a plate, or even not even a plate, like 25, like 14, 15, whatever. And I'm struggling to do the bar. It took me all the way until like junior, senior year to get to a plate just for a couple reps. And then, of course, my shoulder got messed up. So I never got back to it until 2 years later. And then it got messed up. And then I got surgery, never got better. And now another 2 years it took, but it was never the same and painful. And now, once again, a few years later, I'm lower than where I was before, but there's only one way to go, right? Once you're literally at the lowest weight you could possibly do, 0 pounds or 5 pounds, 10 pounds for any sort of exercise, you can only go up. So I know it's discouraging, but don't let it deter you into doing nothing. Stick with it. If you're in there, if you're not, if you're thinking about the surgery, of course, watch my other videos, try to get a better idea. But until then, thanks for watching, and happy holidays to everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.